foremost, we're going to start off by giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rachahat Barash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well. And as always, we give peace and salutations unto the elect. And that starts with the tabernacle of David, as well as the large multitude, the rest of the men, women, and children whom the Lord will have mercy on. All right? And that body is known as the remnant. All right? When you read the scriptures, that's how, the promise that was given to Abraham, through the Most High, through Melchizedek, okay, passed down to Isaac, and then Jacob and his 12 sons, okay? In the latter days, it's stated that a remnant of that large multitude of Israelites that would be in the earth, of that large multitude of remnant will return and come back to the Heavenly Father, come back, to his name, remember ourselves, and walk in the wisdom, all right, which that's what this book possesses. It possesses the wisdom, that leads to life. We've boasted ourselves in some very, very wicked practices in times past that got us nowhere. Okay, and we've boasted ourselves against our power, all right, and following these different ways, and they haven't worked. So now that we're coming back to the true knowledge, wisdom, and understanding how to be men, how to be women, what the Lord, prefers, what he doesn't like, how he judges, looking at creation and acknowledging, he is, okay, it's humbling, okay, but, within this whole thing, the beauty of it is that we have a moral code, we have a standard that we are accountable, all right, to withstand, to uphold. That's our part of the agreement. And if you see what's happening in the earth, Satan on the left hand is requiring, all right, our people, to offer up particular sacrifices. Everybody has to choose their side. Okay, and those who are following after Satan, as you can see, they're going to be required to offer up, more sacrifices. They're going to have to, establish themselves in their practices. Well, we have to establish ourselves and sacrifice on the right-hand side, whereas Satan is requiring so many of our people to take a bold stance in the serpent's philosophy and boast in it and push it. You see? But then you have those on the right side who are going to sacrifice and not bow to that image, which is ultimately how we're going to get the victory. All right, through this testimony, which is against this world, against the ways of it, against the practices, and against the results. This is hell. Now, I'm going to read the book of Sirach, the 39th chapter, okay, and, hopefully we can just get through as much as possible, but, the book of Sirach was written by our forefather. Now, his name was Yahushai, son of Sirach, all right, and when you read the prologue to Sirach, it gives you a little background of the history of, this was one of our forefathers who was in, the captivity of the Greeks, as they dwelled in Egypt, because you still had Israelites dwelling in Egypt. But, when you read about Alexander and his 4 generals, Lysimaeus, Cassander, Ptolemy, and the Seleucid, which are prophesied to come in the scriptures, okay, out of them, the Ptolemy, all right, they conquered the region of Egypt. That's where you get the library of the Alexandria, and, the Hellenization and all of that different information that you should know if you're trying to understand the Bible. You have to know the understanding of the Israelites in the Greek captivity and what happened, all right, and how we can link going into the New Testament and understanding the Gentiles and, the mindset against those Israelites. But anyway, this is our forefather within that captivity, and, there's a king by the name of Euergetes, I believe, all right, it says, for in the 8th and 30th coming into Egypt, when Euergetes was king, continuing there some time, he was there. It says, I found a book of no small learning, Therefore, I thought it most necessary for me to bestow some diligence and travail to interpret it, using great watchfulness and skill in that space to bring the book to an end. So he went through these scrolls, and he translated them. Okay, and as you read up, he's saying when you take these words from their original tongue, Hebrew, they lose their force. So as he's laboring to interpret these things, okay, he says, using great watchfulness and skill in that place to bring the book to an end, and set it forth for them also, which in a strange country are willing to learn, being prepared before in manners to live after the law. So this book was written and translated for us in this latter day because we're in a strange country and we're willing to learn. So he translated this ultimately unto the Greek, and these different languages for what? For the purpose of us having it in the latter days. You see, in the form of in the English, in the form of these different Bibles. Now you have the King James Bible. That's not the only Bible. Or you have Bibles that were written, before the King James Bible. Now we deal with the King James Bible because according to the, the translation from the Hebrew, it's pretty much the most accurate. But you do have, particular other Bibles, like the Geneva Bible. That's good. The NLT is pretty good. All right, but it goes off on particular things. All right, but you can't read those Bibles. All right, there's no doctrine. Now you need to be very, very careful. Okay, and make sure you stick to the King James. But you can get different wordings and different understandings to expound upon or what the scriptures are saying through other interpretations. Now he wrote this for those in a strange country who are willing to learn, being prepared before in the matters to live after the law. So to live after the law, there's a mindset, as an Israelite that we should, take hold to, and through taking hold to that, that gives us the best chance at life. That gives us the best chance at victory. Right? So we're going to read the book of Sirach, the 39th chapter. And we'll start at 1. It says, "But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, all right, will seek out the wisdom of the ancients, all right, and be occupied in prophecies." And you'll find yourself, when you're, not tapping into the flesh, you'll find yourself, man, when you really tap into the Spirit, the Heavenly Father will sup with you. And you're occupied in the heavens. Your mind is constantly in the heavens. You're thinking about, the ancient, the men like Enoch. Enoch. You're picturing how did it look when he was beamed up. You're thinking about, Isaiah as they prophesy. These different things you're reading. You're picturing it. You're picturing and visioning the kingdom of heaven. Okay, New Jerusalem coming down. Okay, you're constantly occupied, and your mind is in the heavens, which you overcome the flesh when you do those things. Okay? So he will seek out the wisdom of all ancient. And our ancient forefathers going back to Adam on the earth. Okay? But even going beyond that in the heavens. All right, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, all right, through the Most High God Yahweh. All right, that is the wisdom personified. That ultimately is the way that we are to follow, man. It says he will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtile parables are, he will be there also. And this is how, you got niggas, they get tripped up. They get tripped up, over the subtile parables of the scriptures, man. And they get all messed up when we go through the Spirit and bring these things out. But see, the men of the Lord, if you look at, the different brothers that are really bringing out this truth, all right, the one thing about it, we go into these prophecies, starting with the apostles and elders, of course, okay, and the men of great millstone and the brothers, all right, who are of like mind, mindset in building this tabernacle of David, all right, because ultimately ultimately the Lord is coming back to deliver his elect. All right, but the Heavenly Father has used and set up a leadership, all right, and a way that we should follow, all right, to give us the best chance through setting up the apostles and elders, man. Okay, because we could walk in folly and follow after these different other leaders, okay, and not be worried and focusing on the word and then miss the bus. So the water Yahweh Bashim Yahshua for leaders that keep us in the mindset of what matters. Now, it says, and we go into those subtle parables, man. Okay, we go into the priesthood, we go into all of these various different things, the sons of God. These are things that people, they read them and they bug out. You know, you ever hear Dabu 7 talking about the Nephilim and all of these various different things? They don't understand. They don't understand that that's, the heritage, all right, the lineage, the son